Many reports out there say that Manchester United's three-man shortlist, should they move on from Erik ten Hag this summer, and it's an if, not a when. It's an if still, right?
If. Yeah, it's an if, but it sounds very much like a when.
It includes Gareth Southgate, Roberto De Zerbi, and Thomas Frank. Jules, are you a bit underwhelmed?
Massively. I mean, you know how much I don't really rate Gareth Southgate. Lovely man. Lovely man. As a football coach, not for me. Thomas Frank, yeah, great job at Brentford. Come on. This is Manchester United. No offense to Brentford, Matthew Benham, we love that club. To Thomas Frank as well, and I'm sure he would be ambitious enough to take the United job. It's not the same league. And then De Zerbi for me is the only one really in the short list. Almost not worthy, because it's a bit harsh on the other two, but like that you could see going there. And even I'm not sure his personality really suits what United need right now in a big transition phase and like rebuilding phase, like they will start from next season if they change manager. So
I also, what would concern me is that these are three very different managers, right? The Zerbi, possession, attacking football. Gareth Southgate, safety first, defensive football. And also Gareth Southgate hasn't coached a club team in many years. Thomas Frank, Brentford football, which is very different. But obviously there's a lot of elements of the directness and stuff like that. I just don't see the common thread. So
I think there's none.
Maybe they should get a technical director. Maybe that Dan Ashworth fella.
That's a good idea.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has broken his silence over his time at Manchester United. He said the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo, and I quote here, didn't work out for him and didn't work out for Cristiano. But it was the right decision at the time.
Why? Then how can it be the right decision if it clearly didn't work out? If Cristiano said to you, hey, start me 3 games and then bench me the 4th one, and when you want to do it, he's not happy. So, come on. It was a terrible idea, and we knew it from the start. More Solskjaer as well, Gabby. He complained that there were some players who didn't want to be named captain when he was at United in certain games, but he didn't have the courage to tell him, so they had others to do it on their behalf.
I'm guessing he has time to kind of read sort of self-help books and modern society books, because this is a quote from him. He said, it was disappointing. It's a different generation. It's Gen Z. It's petty and shows a lack of ambition. So, yeah, hey, welcome, Boomer. Or I guess he's Gen X, I suppose.
Yeah.
Pick on them.
I saw Gab as well. He said that some of the players were, I don't know if they were scared or didn't want to do pre-match. Now, when you get off the bus, when you arrive at the stadium, you do Sky or TNT 3 questions just before going into the dressing room. And I don't know I think he kind of hinted that they didn't want that pressure on them. That maybe they were not ready. And it sounded to me like if you want to play for Manchester United, you need to do all of that. You need to be the captain. You need to be and I'm like, that's not a reason why it didn't work out for you. It's not because, Anthony Martial didn't want to do Sky Sports just before the game against Manchester City.
I mean, look, given my line of work, I'd love it if people were media trained and could actually speak and actually said meaningful things, and if everybody was comfortable doing that. The reality is not every footballer is comfortable doing that. Some people just don't care. Some people are bad at it. Some people are likely to say stupid things, and so the clubs don't put them out there. I think we both know who I'm talking about there, right? Or multiple people I could be talking about. But then he says, like, oh, David De Gea was always happy to do it. Harry Maguire was always happy to do it. Bruno Fernandes always happy to do it. Luke Shaw was always happy to do it. And then next thing you know, he's mentioned like 6 or 7 people. And I'm like, guys, you only play 38 games in a season. If those guys do 1 a month, you're fine. So what's the problem here? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, completely.
And, and putting this out there, I mean, I read this as a criticism of Marcus Rashford, frankly, because I thought, all right, Lindelof always happy to do it because everybody's queuing up to talk to him.
Yeah.
But I took this as a criticism of Manchester United's native English speakers who wouldn't do it, right? Because, okay, I understand you don't want who's somebody who's not a native English speaker.
Yeah, like Garnacho, for example,
you don't want,
this season.
You want Garnacho back then to do it, or Andres Pereira, or whoever was there, right? Who maybe didn't speak good English at the time, right? That's fine. I wouldn't want Anthony doing it, right? But back then, so what people with good English did he not mention?
Yeah.
Like Cristiano, but then again, of course, Cristiano.
Is Cristiano.
He's Cristiano. He can do what he likes. Marcus Rashford is the obvious one, right?
Yeah.
Is this who? And maybe Marcus Rashford did it. I don't know. I don't watch that nonsense before the game, right? But maybe Marcus Rashford did it happily and willingly. But by not mentioning him as one of them, you're again. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
completely.
either come out and say it and be clear, or leave it out.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting interview on a lot of few things. I mean, just to finish on Cristiano.
Oh, you can never have enough Cristiano.
No, but he said, like, listen, the front three was Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood for as long as it could last anyway. And we wanted to press and we wanted to be intense and stuff.
Right.
And then when Cristiano played, we realized very quickly that he didn't want to do it, could not do it anyway. So we have to change. So again, for him to say it was the best, it didn't work out, but it was the right decision to. No, it wasn't. We told you. You knew when he signed, this is not going to work.
But it's also the Muppets in charge of the club, right? So when you sacked him, who did you replace him with to work with Cristiano? Ralph Rangnick, a pressing manager, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't take a freaking genius to realize that if you're going to bring in a pressing manager,
completely,
you need guys who are good at it and who are willing to do it.
Yeah.